you line up the audio and the video track. That's why they do a clap with a clapper. You know, action. That's a clapper. Hey, it's Hazlett in my closet studio. We are overregulated. The government attempts to control too many aspects of life here in Canada, and it is a waste of effort and a needless impingement on our freedom. This is my rant, my freedom rant. Let me explain a little bit about what I mean. I'll just give an example of 5 regulations that are totally ridiculous that govern our daily life here in the West. Number 1, seatbelts are required. If you don't wear a seatbelt, you can get a ticket, paying hundreds of dollars. It's the law. Buckle up. You see signs like that all over the place. Why is this a law? Why do we pay policemen to look for people that aren't wearing seatbelts and to give them a ticket? Why? Why does it matter to you if I don't wear a seatbelt? What's going to happen? The worst case scenario is I get in a bad accident and I die or I'm badly injured, and I didn't have to be, because if I'd been wearing a seatbelt, it would have saved my life or kept me from getting injured as badly. So what? That is just not necessary for the government to control that. If I want to be dumb and not wear my seatbelt, then seatbelts being required. I just don't see why the government needs to be involved in that. If people don't want to wear seatbelts, how does that affect anybody else besides themselves and their families? Along the same lines, child seats, car seats. Why? Why do we have to have car seats? I bet you the person that started the furor about car seats probably didn't even have children of their own. Why should the government be involved in deciding whether or not we use car seats? I don't get it. Don't get me wrong. I have kids. I use car seats, but that's because it's a law, but also because I want my children to be safe. But why should we force people to do it by making a law about it and then enforcing that law, spending money on enforcing a law like that? I don't get it. The government is not some like fantastic organization that's going to save us all from ourselves. That's just not a good function of government. Let's keep going. Wearing a helmet while riding a bicycle or a motorcycle. Why? Why? I mean, like a helmet's going to make a difference to the dude on a motorcycle. Like, there's such a small percentage of the time that wearing the helmet's going to make a big difference. If Buddy gets hit by a car, he's dead. Like, a motorcycle is super dangerous. So should we just not let people ride motorcycles? Because it's super dangerous. You can die riding a motorcycle. So I don't get it. And a bicycle, like, come on. Again, don't get me wrong. I'm not arguing about whether or not it's smart to wear a seatbelt, put your children in a car seat, or wear a helmet while operating a motorcycle or a bicycle. That's not what I'm talking about. I agree. I have my motorcycle license. Every time I rode a motorcycle, I was wearing all the protective gear I could put on. But why is there a law about it? Why do we write laws about something like that? I don't agree. I don't agree that we should. I don't think that's a good use of our tax dollars. What difference does it make to you and your freedom and your right to the quiet enjoyment of life if I choose not to wear a helmet? You know. Okay. Drugs. Drugs are all illegal except for, in Canada, weed and alcohol. Why are drugs illegal? I don't really know why they should be illegal. And if they're illegal, why is alcohol legal? Alcohol is one of the deadliest drugs that we have. Alcohol and alcoholism are responsible for all kinds of negative aspects of our society. Learning about criminal law. I read all kinds of criminal law cases a lot of the time the people committing the crime were drunk. Like, alcohol is not good for you. It's not healthy. And people do a lot of dumb stuff when they're drunk. But that's legal. Sure. And I think it should be. So why is heroin illegal? Why is cocaine illegal? Why are these things illegal? I don't think it makes any sense. Why are we putting people in jail for having these drugs on them? I don't think that's really a good use of our resources. Not that our government's doing a very good job at legalizing marijuana. I think they're probably really screwing it up. And it's not working very well. It's not working the way they thought it would, I don't think. But, you know, they handle the sale of alcohol just fine. Anyways, again, I'm not saying drugs are good. Drugs are bad. Don't do drugs. And that includes alcohol. Don't do drugs. That's what I believe. And I teach my children, don't do drugs. And I don't do drugs. But why do we spend resources on fighting people doing drugs? That's totally the wrong place to be spending the money. If we wanted as a society to be helping people not do drugs, then we would be spending money on programs to support families, programs to support mental illness, programs to help people that are addicted to drugs get clean and rebuild their lives, and doing everything we could to prevent someone from being in that kind of a situation in the first place. But we don't do that as a society. We look to the government to put the ambulance at the bottom of the cliff instead of building a fence at the top of the cliff. We do that all the time, and it's politically popular to put that ambulance at the bottom because you can say, look at all these really badly injured people that I'm helping. I'm really making a difference when they're not. It's not making a difference. So, drugs being illegal. Yeah, I think it's dumb. Speed limits and photo radar. If you don't have photo radar is way better than being pulled over by a policeman. I will say that. I'd much rather just get the thing in the mail than talk to a cop, give me a guilt trip about going fast. And, oh, you know how fast you were going? Yeah, I was going like 15 over on the highway, about the same speed as everyone else, maybe a little bit faster than some. It was not dangerous. They loved publicizing speed kills. Like, oh, they love it, right? Like, oh, speed kills. If you go 55 kilometers an hour in a 50 zone, you are basically killing people. You are killing babies if you are speeding. If you are operating your vehicle in an unsafe manner by going super fast in an environment where you can't control your vehicle and where children suddenly could jump out in front of your vehicle, then yeah, that's a problem. And we should have speed limits. I'm not saying no speed limits. Speed limits are a good idea, especially in residential areas, especially around parks and schools. Yeah, speed limits I'm totally cool with. But on the highway, give me a break. Germany's had the Autobahn for years. And, you know, people aren't dying by the droves over there because of going too fast. Some people probably do, and some people probably abuse that, but please. Anyways, photo radar. They try to say that they have photo radar because it's saving lives, because speed kills, photo radar saves. If you really wanted photo radar to be effective at saving lives, and it wasn't just a cash cow, like right now it's a cash cow in Alberta, let's be honest. It's a source of revenue for the cities, for the municipalities. Edmonton makes millions of dollars a year on photo radar, for example. If it wasn't a cash cow, then they would put signs. They've got signs everywhere. They're not useful because they put photo radar signs where there's no photo radar. You would do it like they do in England. They've got this box, this bright yellow box on the side of the road that says photo radar, and they show you like there's like lines on the road that the photo radar camera uses for judging when to take your picture as you're driving by. So if you were really worried about it, you would make it so obvious that the photo radar is there. You would not be hiding right where the speed changes, and you would not be obscuring where you are. you would be obvious about it. And it would be only at areas where there is a lot of car accidents. Anyways, that's enough of my photo radar rant. It's none of the government's business how risky or safely I choose to act, unless that behavior increases the risk of hurting others. There's some fine balance there, and you can make the argument that, operating your vehicle can increase the risk of hurting others, but not just by going fast. There has to be other things involved there. You have to be going too fast, and going faster than the speed limit, at least in Western Canada, is never necessarily too fast just by going 10 or 20, even 20 over, except in residential areas and school zones. Anyways, these are just the most common things I could think of. I know for sure there are more laws that overreach and are patently ridiculous. Tell me the dumbest laws you know about in the comments below. And if you think I'm totally psycho here and this really hurts your sensibilities and you're astonished that I could say such things about safety laws, then, flame me in the comments below. I can handle it. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more content like this, like the video and ring the bell if you want to be notified as I release more content. Peace.